Thanks for staying with us. So there are lots and lots of hot topics to discuss today. I mean, we're going to take them in little bits. The first one that recently trended was this, you know, alleged man of God. We don't even know if he's a real man of God. But I doubt if he's a real man of God. But he was saying that, there was a tweet that went viral. It says, I am a pastor. I love waist beads. I love leg chains. I love multiple ear piercings and light makeup. Women looking sexy is not a sin. Slay it. So obviously, people started commenting. And, you know, we just thought, this is a topic that we can have and look at it from different perspectives. Because I know we've discussed something like this similar recently. And the real perception of the fact that a man of God should be pious, should be somebody who can differentiate between worldly things and things of God. So when somebody who claims to be a pastor is telling you that he likes things that are seemingly worldly, like leg chains, you know, sexiness, waist beads. Now, well, we now begs to ask, who defines these things as either worldly or godly? Is wearing waist beads, is it worldly or is it godly? What is sexy to a man of God? Can you picture a man of God in that situation where he's admiring a woman who has waist beads, leg chains, multiple body piercings, you know, all over the place, possibly some tattoos here and there? I mean, if you might as well do the whole home, you know. So, can you imagine it? And is our world changing? Or are we just accepting and merging these two worlds of secular and godly and spiritual? Is there no more? Is the line so thin? Is it now blurry, or is there still a definitive line? Let's discuss this. You can call us on 081-270-53687. You can also call us on 091-3907-76948. You can also send us messages on YouTube and Facebook. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this. So let me start with, I'm not going to start with YK.
So, you know, I had to just quickly check what does sexy means. Okay, so it's sexually attractive or exciting, very exciting or appealing. And I think that every husband should have an appealing, an attractive, exciting wife to them. And if the pastor decides to publicize what his preferences might be, we shouldn't castigate him for it, because except he's taking liberty with other women, that's when it becomes sin. But if you define what you want and you're able to find that desire within one woman, your wife, then it is good. Also, I think that we have boxed our pastors in so much religious dogma, or like there's this way you must be pragmatic, how you should carry yourself, that we don't realize that they are human beings that have emotions, and they want to look good. They want their wife to look good. They want to enjoy themselves as well. And we don't see it. We want them holy, speaking in tongues, fire breathing, praying all the time. But there's more to life.
But it's that God never changes. I mean, he's the same yesterday, today, and forever. His policies back then is still the same here. So why is modernization making us feel as if we have to sort of reinvent what is holy?
I think it has always been there. I don't think that it is that there was ever a time that holy people did not have sexual preferences, or, you know, find the partners that they ended up with being appealing. I mean, we see many pastors, it's from church that they pick their mates, and I'm sure it's not only because the person is a prayer warrior. It has to be there's a certain appeal to her. I think what's worrying for many people is that these conversations were not conversations that pastors would have so openly and anywhere. Maybe during a marriage counseling session in church concerning, you're trying to educate people, but that you two, you're on social media, as they're naming waist beads, you two are naming, and I'm counting, I'm like, Uncle Pastor, how many waist beads have you seen? And in doing that, in what godly manner did this happen, you know? So that's what many people are concerned about, that it seems like right now pastors are so open about their, you know, their preferences in such a way that they're almost competing with those in the world. And you know, the way the Bible has said it, for me personally, I don't think some of these things are whether worldly or godly. I feel that they are cultural. And in African culture especially, most of these things are just things that people wear. You know, you see little children from when they're babies, you have them all over them. And some cultures, they have their ears pierced. So I don't see it as worldly or godly. But Christianity, I think, is the one that has divided it that way. And if you say you're a pastor in that way, then you have to go according to what the Bible and the church say. So just speaking about it openly, if it's not in a place of educating people,
well, you see, we raise our young girls I mean, young girls in church they have nice skirts, they pack your hair nicely, look decent. You know, we raise them to be like that. And suddenly when they get married, you now want them to now become this diva overnight. I mean, I feel cheated sometimes as a young Christian girl. I feel like you should have allowed me to do a lot of things if that is what you now require of me as a wife. Then when I was younger, expose me. Let me explore my sexuality. Let me find who I am. But you made me so holy, reading the Bible, prayer warrior, fasting. All you do as a single girl is fasting and waiting for this husband to come.
And when the husband comes,
now, they don't want you to become Madonna overnight. Come on.
I like that.
Cut us some slack. So when you're not telling me you want waist beads, well, who taught me how to use waist beads? You know me, I shouldn't leg chain. Who taught me how to use neck in my leg chain? Who? Where did I get it from? I'm not allowed to read magazines. I'm not allowed to go to social media. I'm not allowed to go and watch cable and see all those things. I am not enter marriage. You're not pastor telling me I am not. Come on, please cut a young Christian girl some slack.
Yeah.
So let us choose it. Are we holy or are we worldly? Choose one.
No. Oh, let me hear.
Excuse me. I think that our society has become too hypocritical. We hypocritical and judgmental. Whether Christian, whether Muslim, whatever. We just like to judge people. We like to judge people on their preferences. The pastor has said it. We shouldn't even be discussing it because to me,
his own personal opinion.
That is how he wants it. But because we're a judgmental society, it has become news. It has become, something that we want to, yeah. Everybody should live. And I think when you have this, because you are just saying you're a Christian girl, where did you learn these things? That is because you grew up in a hypocritical society where hypocritical and judgmental, because I must add that judgmental.
Yes. So where you are is what I want us to build on. The fact that we have been very hypocritical.
Yeah.
We want these things, but we pretend we don't. So as we are growing, as we are becoming mothers and we're raising people, how best do we begin to expose them? How do we do it properly? Because abroad, we don't want our children to be totally AWire either. But at the same time, we want them to have good values. So where do we marry both? That's the real critical conversation I want us to have here. Because it seems trivial, but there's a real fundamental foundation where this is coming from that we need to deal with.
Okay, you are the one. You are the one that has raised full-grown adults. That went to. How did you?
My daughter, I did not remove anything from her learning process. She chose to be the way she. I didn't say, oh, you must be a virgin till you marry. I didn't give her any benchmark.
Yeah.
I gave her an education, which was my duty as a parent.
Yeah.
A good education. I didn't ban her from computer, but computer of those days is not computer of today. Right. Because there are some things now on the internet that I don't want my child to know this. But I let her be as independent as was
independent thinking.
As was okay in the
at the time.
Right. And not no, you have to be a Christian, and she was a Christian. Right. She chose by herself not to be a Christian.
Yeah, eventually.
Let
me take this call from the Pastor Elijah. Pastor Elijah, are you there?
Yes, good morning,
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Good morning, Mariah. Good morning, Sarah Yemi.
Good morning.
Dr. and the other lady, Miriam.
Yeah.
I'm the first time caller.
Welcome to the show.
I love your
Welcome to the show.
Thank you, sir.
And I consider it a sin for me not to watch it on daily.
Thank you, sir.
I know how effective it has been to reshape, to retutor people. So, because of your program, I have to put TVC application on my phone.
Wow.
So that each day running, I will always be engaged with you.
Thank you, sir.
Not all about
sir.
calling to talk to you. But this morning, I have to give this topic an imperative consideration. Who are we? We are people created without religion. And if at the end of the day, religion becomes inescapable, and we find ourselves in one religion or the other, the extremity of those religions' doctrinal practices has always been putting us across line with God. Number one, who define your godliness and worldliness in terms of dresses? And don't forget that where religion and culture clashes, no one will be bent to the other one. And in terms of this pastor's issue that you brought this morning, that you've just raised, my submission is this. If anybody is pointing to the scripture that there is a portion that says, or wherever God says or speaks about jewelry or modries or this our own crafty attachment to make to beautify us, was there a place that God has ever said we should not, that Yenny should not wear earring, that you should not put necklace? The only condemnation point in the scripture was when it becomes like God to them. At some point, if they couldn't get it fixed on, they won't be able to run their daily life. God spoke about it. But the most important thing is that modesty should be considered. What are those things attracting me to Morayo? Should it be her shoes? What are those things attracting me to Yenny? Could it be the pouch she put on her iPad? So all those things should be considered. We are trying to redefine this, our religion, most especially Christianity.
Thank you very much, Pastor Elijah.
We Christianize every aspect of our lives.
Thank you very much, Pastor Elijah, for your comments on this. Because I wanted us to bring this conversation to mothers who are raising young girls and young boys. Because there are mommies in church right now. They are complaining, oh, my child is single. Oh, my child is this. Oh, that one has happened. I am not. There is that frustration. But we raised these models, these women that, and these men. Some of them are so Christianese. They are gritty. They want to see a girl. And I mean, recently I posted on my page, my girlfriend at my school, Pan Atlantic. And I said, my girlfriend is single, please, if you're interested. People come up to her, and they were having a conversation. And from day one, he's already saying that, can she cook? Can she do this? How many children does she want to have? From day one. Our men don't understand that you meet a girl, have a conversation. Know her likes, her dislikes. Speak to her. Talk about, be funny. Have a sense of humor. Relax. Hang out, go for a date. Just talk about normal life. Talk about the weather. Talk about the traffic. Talk about the hawkers. Or talk about something. Don't worry about how many children that she wants to have. Don't talk about how many, can she cook in the kitchen? Can she invite material? From day one. Come on. So we are raising these church and Christianese citizens who are now coming to the world and are not dateable. You can't marry them. You now end up, they want you to start wearing the waist bead that you have they banned and demonized and exorcised out of you. You wait in marriage. Come on. That's my frustration this morning.
So there was a video that there was a conversation, I think it's Mariah and maybe Auntie Yenny will have it. There was a guy that came to talk to us in your office one time that he wants to really marry one lady. By the grace and mercy of God, by the grace and mercy of God, I have a business. I really love her. I believe she will be my wife. By the grace and mercy of God, like before 30 seconds, I asked Telly that, can you have a conversation with Apu? By the grace and mercy of God, by the grace and mercy of God, and I realized that this is why the man is single, because he can't, there's no life. And the truth is that we are not created to, as Christians or whatever religion we have, we are in the world. Yes, we are not off the world, but we are in the world. And if we don't dwell here, we will be isolated from our ability to impact on that world. So many people are so religious that they have no impact, because from your look, you can't even preach any message. You cannot pass on any message to the person. They will look at you and say, I don't want to hear from you. If this is what your religion can make you look like, I'm not interested. So
sometimes, sometimes this is a very deliberate, it's a deliberate decisions for parents to raise their children a certain way. So I want you to be Christianese, as you call it, and talk that way and interact that way. And the thing is that like is supposed to seek out like. So they will find their Christianese partners, that they understand their language, understand their community, and the code of conduct that works for them.
Right.
But for me personally, the reason I may not put my child wholly into that is because I want for my child to be able to experience a lot of things and be influenced by so many things. I would guide it, to the point that it is in a decent way. But I want my child to be so influenced that she has better social skills, or he has better social skills. He's able to talk to anybody from anywhere, and they're able to converse and, have a relationship. But for those who are not that way inclined, for those who haven't been raised that way,
my
who
issue
feel comfortable in that, there's nothing wrong with it, as long as you seek out each other.
Let me what you're saying. So we have been raised to have that code of conduct, and like fell in love with like.
Yes.
These two like now enter the marriage. Mr. Like is now saying, I want to be that beast, because he's imagining the outside. So the girl who has married a like, thinking I have married another Christian like me, is now entering the marriage to realize that this man has fantasies about
it works anywhere. For a certain person that feels that, I'm wild like that, I'm like this, we do everything, and then you marry someone who is just like you, and then you get into marriage and the person tells you, Madam, please, can we scale back? So people also change their minds. Yeah, it works both ways.
Let's go to break. I'd really like to hear our viewers at this point. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So we're still having this conversation, and I think the crux of it is, how do we raise our godly children to be sexy? That's really the crux of this conversation. I have Frank from Abulegba. Good morning. Are you there, Frank?
Yeah, I'm there. Good morning.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, good morning to everyone over there. My own perspective, let me just start with the past. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, let me just start with the pastor. The pastor that is the pastor view, I guess. Because on the real sense of it, if we should look at it generally, you will see a lot of girls that go to the church, dress well, you tell this girl, oh, she's very holy, but check out what she's doing right behind her back. Check out what she's doing at her back. You will be surprised that this girl, wow, you don't know that she has been doing all sorts of things, but to you, you believe she's very holy. So it's better for someone to be very real. Okay, let me give you an instance of this Chidima issue, the issue of Chidima and the guy that was murdered. Maybe the guy that was murdered, maybe in his own house, his wife thought this guy does not smoke, does not do anything, just very, very decent guy. But look at the man right behind the wife's back. Look at what he did there. Then the lady will be his wife will be so surprised that, oh, my husband can do this, my husband can do that. But maybe that is what gave his husband fun. Maybe that is what he likes. That maybe when you want to have fun, he get high, do a lot of shit, which he cannot do that with his wife.
Thank you very much, Frank. So, I mean, but let's finish this conversation.
You see, moderation is key. And I must say over and over again, what you said, how do we raise a woman that is, how do we raise a child to adulthood, that they are comfortable with themselves and they have a limit? Because the idea is our parents were careful not to expose us too much because they didn't want us to go haywire. They didn't want us to go crazy. So they created let us be conservative. So even if she wants to even venture out a bit, she will not travel too far. So that the idea is we don't want our children to be staying in the house, but we don't want them also going everywhere, haywire and all of that. We must give our children ability to have self-control, ability to know that I can experiment and I can control myself. I can try this out, I don't like it, I come back. And give them a home all through that. Anyhow, whatever happens outside, I have your back. Once a child have that level of, my parents will always have my back, I have something that I can always fall back on, there's less risk of going crazy outside, experimenting.
So for me growing up, I noticed that, especially with the Hausa girls in my community, from when we were quite young, when our own parents were still trying to protect us from the world, they would have they will already start putting some makeup on. They go out to do the trading with their things on. all of a sudden, these are children we play with in the sand, then they start walking differently. But then it's done in the home, and it's taught to you by maybe your older sisters or your mothers. For me, I feel that that's a wholesome way to start introducing a girl to her body and, you know, what it means. In that case, she's not doing it because, oh, I want this man to catch this man's eye, but she's just understanding, you see, I'm a woman, I have to sit a different way. I need to put this to look prettier and everything. So that's another way of allowing her to gradually go into and find herself. So
let me take this call from Ifeanyi. I'll come to you, YK. Good morning, Ifeanyi. Are you there? Hello, Ifeanyi. Hello? I think we lost that call. Go ahead, YK.
I'm just going to say, back to this hypocrisy. There is this girl I know. She was always tying scarf, holier than thou, this. In fact, she was so religious and holier than thou, the dresses. One day, I saw her with a married man. So I said,
Knowing you two together.
I know, but all of a sudden her demeanor had changed. She wasn't a young girl, and everywhere she was carrying Bible everywhere. Next thing, she was pregnant.
Oh,
whoa.
So that's why I say when you are holier than thou, the possibility that you will stray in the wrongest possible way is there, because you have closed your mind to the world. Once your mind is closed to the world.
So is that marriage, YK, that I wanted us to really bring out? Because parents are watching us today, and a lot of mothers and fathers are watching us, and they've caged these young people such that it's all about Bible, Monday service, Tuesday service, Wednesday service, church, home. They have that continuous routine.
But those people, when they are going to stray,
So it's better to
so you expose them to it from the house. That they should know themselves, know your body, understand this is what you have. Like, I know I have had that conversation with my boys at the point in time that, okay, this and this is what your body would, when you wake up, this is the normal thing, you've been seeing it, but it's getting different now. That conversation must take place from within the house. They must be exposed to the fact that people will start asking you out. Not that they will ask you out, then you not like, then you'll be wondering, why is this person saying, they're so beautiful, they're so beautiful?
I really want to get some calls. Let me get to hello. Good morning. I hear I have a call. Good morning. Are you there? Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Okay. Good morning. Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please. Catherine.
Yeah, my name is Catherine. I'm calling from Ikeja.
Yes, go ahead.
I want to contribute to what you're talking about.
Please. You're live. Go ahead, please.
Hello, can you hear me?
Very clearly.
Fine. So I'm a mother of 3, and I have, my first son is 13, and my daughter is 11, and then I have another daughter that is 7. Now, with everything that you're talking about, I have my last daughter likes being called a princess. She's like, I'm the princess of the house, and this and that. Now, I am a fashionista myself. So they see me the way I dress. I wear ankle chains if I feel like. I wear whatever it is I feel like, but then with moderation. However, I noticed that my second daughter likes all the things that I do, even more than my first daughter. But I do not at all discriminate. I like the way she is. She will just tell me, Mommy, I like this, I like this. So when you like it, fine, go ahead and try it on. And she likes it, and she looks good. She will even compliment herself. Our brother compliments her. Our brother compliments me because you see the way their dad compliments me.
Right.
They love the way I look. And then that's why parents should know that they are modeling, that the first teachers that the children are seeing. You are the model your children are seeing. So it depends on how you look. It depends on how you're comfortable in your skin. It depends on how you're comfortable in what you're wearing. So whatever it is that you are showing to those kids is what they will portray when they grow up.
Thank you very much, Catherine, for this point, because we have mothers, our mummies in church, you know, they dress like mummies. There's the way you dress.
Mother in Israel.
You know, mother in Israel, like me. I'm one of them.
No,
trust me. Because it's show that carry all these things. Let me, I know. Let us be very real here. So I'm also taking the learning, because the way I dress at home, my children will be looking at me, because I am the picture of who they are seen as a Christian woman. So if I have this look of, constantly looking all perfect and, constantly reading the Bible, the children are modeling that, and they're not going to the world where so many things are expected of them. How do they marry this?
It's not wrong for them to see you reading the Bible.
Yes.
It's not wrong for them to see. Actually, it is good.
Yes.
We must preach that the holiness is good, or the righteousness is good, but the holiness is not outward alone. And the holiness is not based on what you wear.
Yeah.
The holiness is your character. So we have the good character and have your look good. So when I was doing my birthday, I took my children to Monkey Village. That place was very, very, you know, like it was a ghetto, and they saw it, and they saw that what were we doing? Mommy is spending her birthday giving to the poor. So it doesn't mean we're not looking good, but they are seeing the action, and there's a character being portrayed. So I like the idea of teaching the values. I mean, modeling the right values, showing yourself.
9 times out of 10, little girls especially, follow what their mother says. Me, when I was growing up, my mother used to paint her nails. Probably why I paint my nails, because my mother was always looking, you know. Yeah. But my daughter, her own
immediate influence
was my mother, who at that time had now become she's
very humble.
No, not humble, but she was always in the house. She didn't paint her nails. She just, you know. So that was my own daughter's immediate influence. Mine was my mom. Right. And I noticed my auntie, my mom's sister, her daughters, none of her daughters paint their nails.
She was like,
and my auntie, she never painted her nails. She never wore makeup. Her daughters don't wear makeup. My own mother wore makeup. Right. My daughter was influenced by my mother. Who doesn't at that time, I stopped wearing makeup. My mother was in her 50s.
Yeah. Well, you know, one thing with parenting and raising a child is that sometimes there's something you see at home, but then you grow up and say, I'm going to be nothing like my mom.
Yes, I don't want this.
So you'll be looking at your friend's mother and like, yes. Why does my friend's mother always cut me? She wear high heels, but my own mother is like, that's the person I want to become. So you find a person who, by the time they leave home, they learn things from their friends. So there's peer pressure as well, where you want to be more like your friends. And you come home to the family and like, where did you learn this from? None of us act like this. So there's so many things that will influence it, but it's important to give them the right foundation. So there's nothing wrong with being Christianese and everything, but it's important for your child to see your different sides, that you're a Christian mother. Yes. Also, they should see you as a Christian wife. How do you relate with daddy when you are in a romantic situation and how he makes you smile? And those are the things
I would like to link this up to our next story because it's actually relatable.